For hundreds of years, the rules of war were written by people. Strategy, speed, strength. It was all measured on a human scale. But today, that's all changing. The very nature of warfare is being rewritten by a brand new force, artificial intelligence. And if you want to understand the future of global conflict, you absolutely have to understand this shift.
This quote right here, it perfectly captures the new reality of the battlefield. It is a massive shift, one where the side with the better data and the faster algorithm gets a huge, maybe even unbeatable advantage. We are stepping into a totally new era, and in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what that means.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to cover 5 key areas to really get a grip on this. First, how AI is making conflict move at lightning speed. Then, we'll look at the specific jobs AI is doing on the battlefield. After that, we'll dive into the new global AI arms race that's heating up, and how that's changing what we even think of as a military target. And finally, we'll tackle the huge ethical questions all of this brings up.
Okay, first up, let's talk about speed. Because if there's one thing AI brings to the table, it's a kind of velocity in warfare that is just, well, it's way beyond what any human can truly comprehend.
This right here is the heart of the matter. In the past, human analysts would take hours, sometimes even days, to process intelligence and make a crucial decision. With AI, that same process can take just a few seconds. And look, this isn't just a small step up. It's a completely different way of doing things. It compresses the entire timeline of a conflict, which seriously increases the risk of things escalating automatically at a pace we just can't keep up with.
So how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's take a look at a case study from recent conflicts involving the US, Israel, and Iran. This gives us a really clear window into the different jobs AI is already taking on.
So this is the new AI-powered targeting cycle. It starts with just a fire hose of data being collected from everywhere. Then you have AI systems, like one called Lavender, that just chew through all of it, finding patterns and predicting targets. We're talking about systems that can generate hundreds of potential targets a day, a job that would take human teams months to do. Now, a human officer still has to give that final approval, but the speed and scale of everything leading up to that moment, that is all AI.
And it's not just about finding who to shoot at. AI is being used across the entire spectrum of a conflict. It's analyzing intelligence, launching cyber attacks to cripple an enemy's infrastructure, guiding autonomous weapons like those kamikaze drones, and even on the defensive side, predicting where missiles might land to help out first responders. It's everywhere.
Just to give you a sense of the incredible scale we're talking about here, check out this number. The US military's Project Maven, which is an AI built to analyze battlefield data, helped evaluate over 1,000 targets in the first 24 hours of just one operation. That just shows you the insane capacity AI brings to war planning in real time. So whenever a new technology offers this kind of game-changing advantage, you know what happens next, right? Every major power on the planet wants a piece of it. And that's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, experts are already calling it a new global AI arms race. They're even drawing parallels to the nuclear competition during the Cold War. And the logic is pretty much the same. The fear of falling behind is pushing countries to pour money into military AI, creating this really dangerous spiral of competition.
And let's be clear, this isn't some far-off future problem. It is happening as we speak. The United States and China are definitely out in front, but you've got nations like Russia, Israel, and Iran all investing huge amounts of money just to keep up in this new tech race.
Maybe the best way to think about AI's new role is like this. It's becoming the electricity of war. It's not just another weapon in the armory. No, it's the fundamental utility that's going to power everything else, from strategy and intelligence gathering to weapons systems and cyber ops. It's a foundational change, just like radar was in World War II.
Now, this new reality brings us to a pretty startling conclusion. If AI really is the electricity of war, then all the stuff that powers it, well, it's not just civilian tech anymore. It's a military asset.
This really changes the game. It creates a new, unavoidable rule of war. AI infrastructure is military infrastructure, and that dramatically expands the list of what can be considered a legitimate target in any future conflict.
So what are we talking about? Well, this is the new target list. We're talking about the physical backbone of our entire digital world, cloud servers, those massive data centers where AIs are trained, the factories that make the advanced computer chips, the satellite networks that keep us all connected. Believe it or not, attacks on these are the future of strategic warfare.
And that finally brings us to what might be the hardest questions of all.
as we start handing over more and more of these critical life-and-death decisions to algorithms, we are walking right into a massive moral and legal crisis.
So who's responsible? I mean, really think about it. If an AI makes a fatal mistake, who takes the blame? Is it the programmer who wrote the code, the commander who deployed the system, the company that built it? When a decision to kill is made by a complex algorithm, that chain of responsibility becomes incredibly and dangerously blurry.
And that leads to an even deeper question. Can a machine ever really have the moral authority to choose a human being as a target? Human rights groups are sounding the alarm, warning that this could totally violate international law. Because, let's face it, an algorithm just can't replicate human judgment in these super complex, life-or-death moments.
Now, everybody agrees that there needs to be meaningful human control over these weapons. But what does that phrase actually mean in practice? Is it just a person pressing a button to say yes to a target an AI has already chosen? Because as these systems get faster and more autonomous, that window for a human to actually have control shrinks down to almost nothing.
Right now, it's pretty clear. The side with the better AI has a massive advantage. But what happens when that advantage is gone? What happens when both sides have equally capable, incredibly fast AI adversaries? What does that war even look like? That is the deeply unsettling question that's going to define not just the future of security, but the very nature of winning a war.